Hey, I'm Seb Smee.
And I'm Dylan Levitt.
And it's time we have a real talk about Robert Eggers Nosferatu.
Robert Eggers Nosferatu is a reimagining of the 1922 silent horror classic, blending gothic horror with psychological drama. Set in the 19th century Germany, the film follows Thomas Hutter, a real estate agent dispatched to Transylvania to assist the enigmatic Count Orlok in purchasing a property near Hutter's home. Unbeknownst to Hutter, Orlok is a vampire who becomes infatuated with Hutter's wife, Ellen. As Orlok relocates to their town, he brings with him a sinister plague and a trail of death, compelling Ellen to make a courageous sacrifice to end his reign of terror. The film delves into themes of obsession and the supernatural, with Eggers' signature atmospheric direction and meticulous attention to period detail.
The film features Lily Rose Depp as Ellen Hutter, Nicholas Hoult as Thomas Hutter, Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok, Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Friedrich Hartling, Willem Dafoe as Professor Albin Eberhard von Franz, you'll have to excuse me on that one, my German friends, and Emma Corrin as Anna Harding. Nosferatu is available to watch in Australian cinemas now. What a film, hey?
It was really... Let me get this out of the way first. It was very good. It was very good.
I've listened to some that are like dilly-dallying if they liked it or not because it's very hit or miss. Yeah, it's good. It's a good film.
It's good. It's definitely winning something, I think.
Okay, look. Let me jump into it to start us off. It is a Robert Eggers film. Like, everything about it is very clearly Robert Eggers. It is a period piece, and it's a real period piece. Everything about this movie is meticulous, and everything about it is perfect to how it would be in the time where they are in Germany. Everything is, like, exactly how it would be realistically. Which is great, because it means that we're watching a very realistic vampire film, but it leaves some things to be desired. It leaves some things... Some things aren't as interesting, aren't as intriguing as they could be, which we'll get into it.
Yeah.
This will, of course, be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the film yet, you have to go watch it in VMAX, not in normal.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine watching that in normal cinema.
I have no idea. I said the same thing. We were in the same cinema that we watched Oppenheimer in, and I said I can't believe that people watched this film not in VMAX. It's expensive. I will say that. I understand that if you don't have the money to, but if you can, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, do you want to give us a little rundown of your thoughts, a little bit of an overview?
Yeah, okay. It was very good. So that's all. That's mostly what I have to say. I really enjoyed it. I went into it thinking, oh, okay, it's had mixed reviews, honestly, and I was
hyping this film a lot.
I know.
I was like,
this guy was going on about like the 3 months prior to us watching. He was going, Dylan, we have to go see this movie. We have to go see this movie. And I was like, okay, I'll come along.
Okay, we'll see a vampire movie then.
Yeah, whatever. And then like there was mixed reviews. People are saying very different stuff about it. Like, it's very hit or miss in people's reviews.
You either really love this film or you really hate it, I think.
That's what I was about to say. It is 100% not everyone's cup of tea.
For good reason.
For good reason. It's like
very
crazy.
fair if you don't like it. You know?
Yeah. It's very targeted to a specific audience, and they don't dial it down and wash it out for anyone else.
It is interesting though because I'm not a gothic horror guy.
Yeah.
Like, I do not enjoy gothic horror, but I very much enjoyed this film.
Yeah.
So I think that it has found a way to... I think I'm just a huge Bill Skarsgård fan, and anything he's in I will obsess over. But yeah, look, it's a gothic horror. If you don't like gothic horror... Actually, the main thing, if you don't enjoy... like The Witch and Lighthouse and stuff, Eggers' previous work, you're not going to like it. Like, you could be the biggest vampire fan, the biggest fan of, Rose Depp and Aaron Taylor-Johnson from his previous work in Chat Room. You could be a huge fan of everything this film has, but if you don't like Robert Eggers, you're not going to like Nosferatu. And
no, 100%.
Just the facts. Yeah, you won't. But, look... I've got a bit of a review roundup here. I've gone and I've collected thoughts from across the internet, from different reviewers, from different sources. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a rundown of what critics and reviewers and people alike think of this film. So, as you would expect from Eggers, visually, this movie is beautiful. Everything about it is immaculate. The lighting, the design, the cinematography, everything is great. Majorly gothic atmosphere, which of course will lead to critics being pretty freaking divided on their thoughts. Okay, we'll do the numbers first. Rotten Tomatoes, 85% approval rating. Pretty solid.
That is...
You can't complain with an 85%, especially with how some people on that
app
website
review.
Yes. So overall, critics seem to be pretty keen. Metacritic has a 78 out of 100, which is mostly favourable. You know, for the most part, people are keen, but you know, again, it's not got everyone on board. So for some highlights, though, we've got critics like David Rooney at The Hollywood Reporter are obsessed, absolutely raving about it, calling the film exciting, repulsive, and beautiful all at once, and that's all compliments, I promise, even repulsive, because it's disgusting. In particular, as he should be, he's very impressed with Bill Skarsgård and also Lily Rose Depp, who gives a stunning performance, which we'll dive into after this. But David Elrich at IndieWire went even further, calling it a psychosexual fairy tale, and praising Eggers for reimagining the vampire genre in a way that feels both fresh and timeless, which is very true. And those are some very wonderful reviews from some very, established critics. But as I said, not everyone is sold. The Sun had some not very kind words. Humorless and slow-paced. Not sure. I feel like humorless is not a bad thing. Why would it be humorous? I don't think... Okay. And they said, even with a great cast, it just didn't deliver the excitement you'd expect from a vampire epic. Similarly, the Financial Times gave it 3 out of 5 stars, saying it's inventive but struggles to leave a lasting impression. So, what's the deal? From what most critics are saying, Nosferatu is very much a Robert Eggers movie. It's dark, it's moody, it is meticulously crafted with tons of attention to historical detail. But if you're looking for something fast-paced or packed with jump scares, it's not for you. It's a bit of a slow burn. Overall, Nosferatu seems to land somewhere. I have to do it. I can't.
Yeah.
Nosferatu. Somewhere between... It's in between. That's really it, to be honest. Fans of Eggers' previous work, like Lighthouse or The Witch, are going to appreciate it. Are going to love it. You really, really will. But if you're hoping for a high-energy horror flick, this might not be for you. But either way, it's a fascinating take on a horror classic that is worth checking out for the visuals and performances alone. Speaking of performances, I guess the obvious one to jump into is Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok.
Count Orlok.
The one and only Nosferatu. He's coming. I think he's coming, from what they said in the film. I think he's coming. Bill Skarsgård's just really good. Actually, I'm going to leave Skarsgård for a second because I have a story to say about his involvement. So we'll come back to him. Is there anything that you in particular were like extremely impressed with? I guess Lily Rose Depp's probably.
Lily Rose Depp's. May I just say, when they announced Lily Rose Depp as the Ellen, I was like, okay, it's okay. I really like Johnny Depp, and that's what really sold me. I was like, okay, Johnny Depp's daughter.
You know, it was supposed to originally be Princess Peach from Mario.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I was thinking. Is Lily Rose Depp going to be better than Anya?
Harry Styles was supposed to be the guy.
Thomas?
Yeah, Thomas Hutter.
Oh, really?
Harry Styles.
I don't think that would have been better than...
But you know who was supposed to be that before?
Seb's me.
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård? I couldn't imagine Bill Skarsgård.
It was Bill Skarsgård.
Is that what you're about to get into?
So, initially, when this project first came to life 10 years ago...
10 years ago?
Robert Eggers... Yeah, 2015, it first started happening, which is 10 years ago. Robert Eggers comes to Skarsgård, or more impactfully, Skarsgård comes to Eggers, and things happen, and he's unofficially rumoured casted as Aaron Taylor Johnson's character, whose name is escaping me, Frederick Harding. Yeah, so Bill Skarsgård cast, or in the running for Frederick. movie falls. It falls. It's done. It falls apart. It's not happening. Other things happen, Lighthouse, whatever. But it falls apart. It comes back up again. Bill Skarsgård gets officially casted as Thomas Hutter, locked in, set in stone. Bill Skarsgård's playing Thomas Hutter. You know what happens? Movie falls apart. Dead.
Ooh.
Falls to the ground again. And then, all of a sudden, Bill Skarsgård hears something. He hears that the Nosferatu movie is happening. Actually happening. Locked in and happening. And he comes forward, he says, I'm here. I'm ready to play Thomas Hutter. Harry Styles steps in front of him, puts his hand out, and shushes him. Oh, also I've heard. Yeah. He says, well, I guess, if I'm not Hutter, then I guess I'll be Frederick, I guess, if that's... No, that's cast as well. Aaron Taylor Johnson's doing that. Oh, okay. Well, then what am I doing in this picture, then? Because I have to do it. This is a please. Eggers, let me, please. What about Orlok? At first, he's like, what the hell? What the thing were you talking about? Wait a second. He cooked. And that is the story of how Bill Skarsgård is playing Count Orlok.
Bill Skarsgård's always very good when he's playing these zany characters.
That's why I was so surprised when I found out that it was kind of an unsure thing if he would be Orlok. For me, that's in a second. I'm like, oh my god,
instant. He's so good.
Obviously, his notable work is Pennywise in the...
Yeah, that's what I was about to get to. Pennywise... Count Orlok and Pennywise kind of give off the same vibes, almost. Like, character-wise...
Sexual
like,
demon.
Yeah, 100%. But I think...
one's directed to women and one's directed to kids, so one's better than the other, I think.
Yeah. I think the reimagining of Count... I'm just going to go past that. I think the reimagining of Count Orlok's design as well was a very good choice. Because if you've seen in the original, I think 1922, is that when the silent film came out?
Yeah.
Yeah. He looks so goofy. I remember first seeing him in that one SpongeBob episode where it's like,
That's
then who's
start for a lot of people.
who's flicking? Yeah, who's flicking off on and off the lights? And then they flash to Count Orlok, and he's like, the light switch is like, oh, Nosferatu.
And he looks like he could be in a SpongeBob episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he but instead he's supposed to be an evil vampire who...
Oh yeah.
Like
he just looked very goofy before. So I'm so happy when he came on. He got like this big bushy like moustache now. I was like, oh, okay.
I like it. You didn't see it, so I'm gonna take you back to watch it again. There's a moment in the film where you can see his Count Orlok hanging.
Oh yeah, I was looking at his face. I wasn't looking down there. Why were you looking down there?
Okay.
Seb was like, oh.
I knew it was in it. I saw a picture of the prosthetic. So I knew it was there, and I didn't want to miss it.
It was a prosthetic?
Well, yeah, it's like all bubbly and stuff.
Oh, ew. I mean, nudity's not new for this type of film. There's lots of nudity in Nosferatu 2024.
Wow, it's a horny movie.
It is crazy.
Wow, it is. There's naked women on horses. I had to cover Dylan's eyes at multiple points because he's just a boy.
Okay, well, you didn't need to do that. But...
yeah, it's a very sexy, horny retelling of Nosferatu. But it's great. It pays off.
It was very good.
Look, it's just the thing that I keep coming back to, which, like, it's a 5-star movie, and I think it's either 5 or 1. Like, you can't go in between. And it is 5 stars for me, but I just... Start of the movie is so strong. End of the movie is the most brilliant final shot I've ever seen, I think.
That final shot was crazy.
We won't spoil it because you need to see it. Final shot is brilliant. Almost everything that happens in between them is a bit...
forgettable.
Oh,
it's a bit iffy.
I'm not very... If you asked me to recite the storyline, I would tell you no. Because I can't. Not because I was looking at his Count Orlok, because I don't remember it. And so, look, it's definitely one that I very much want to go see it again, like desperately. but I am like, I'm gonna get bored. Like,
Yeah. I think if I were to go see it again, I wouldn't see it in VMAX. I'd see it in normal, just to compare the two and see how.
no, because
are.
if you're bored in VMAX.
Oh yeah, if you're
could
bored
you
in VMAX,
imagine, like,
I think it's one of those movies where you watch, it's like, oh my god, this is really good, but then you have to give it some time to watch again. Otherwise,
I was gonna drive to a Hoyt's. So we have an event real close to us, and then 20 minutes away we have a Hoyt's, and I have points, and I have a Hoyt's gift card, so I was gonna go and buy popcorn and stuff, and it was like 9:30. I was gonna have a lovely night at the cinema by myself with some popcorn, with a drink, relaxing, watching Nosferatu. But I didn't go because I just refused to watch this film in a Hoyt's. Oh, we love Hoyt's. We're like the biggest Hoyt's stands. Like before, like this year, we were like Hoyt's exclusive, but you just. At least at the Hoyt's near us, there's a Hoyt's 30 minutes away that is the most incredible cinema in the world. It's amazing. I would drive there happily just to go see a film. But the Hoyt's near us, all the cinemas are very thin and very long. So you're sitting all the way back here, the screen's all the way down there, and it feels like it's the size of a computer screen. Like, it's very... And I was just like, I can't do this. But all the chairs are reclining.
They are.
Like
So
events where all the chairs are squeaky. So they're bad. The events chairs are squeaky.
Yeah, it's quite hard to.
I feel so bad. And then when we were in Nosferatu, I was like moving around because it's just so uncomfortable. Like the movie's uncomfortable, not the chairs, but yeah, it's just squeaking. It's squeaking a lot.
Squeak
There's a
Central.
lot of squeaking happening in those chairs. Anyway, yeah, look, I've got another little story for you. A bit of a story time happening here. And it's basically about Robert Eggers' connection with Nosferatu. Because it goes back more than 10 years. It goes back more than just making a...
Does it?
It does. Well, I'm glad you asked. So, Robert Eggers... I feel like I'm telling a story. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Yeah.
Robert Eggers.
Go get snacks.
Nosferatu.
Pause it right now and go get snacks.
Yeah, get
before.
some snacks here. It's not that long, actually, I don't know. But, yeah, so his fascination with Nosferatu... I have to say it like that anyway. It actually goes back to his youth. So at 17 years old, Seb's me moment, he directed a high school stage adaptation of the 1922 silent film in black and white. Like, he did it. I think he created it as well. But he did it in black and white. Or, so I don't know how to confirm it. I'm sure there's pictures, I guess. But, so I've heard, in black and white. And so basically that, he found the film at a young age, but that kind of really ignited his flair for filmmaking and for creation and everything like that. So in 2015, following the success of his debut feature The Witch, Eggers announced plans, as I said, to remake Nosferatu. He expressed surprise at undertaking such an iconic project early in his career, stating, "It feels ugly and blasphemous and egomaniacal and disgusting for a filmmaker in my place to do Nosferatu next." Clearly showing that he cares about it a lot and he doesn't want to do it too early because he doesn't want to ruin it. For the most part, as a filmmaker, you get one shot at a film. You know what I mean? You don't get to do a remake of your own film. Very rarely. He has one shot at this. He doesn't want to mess it up. Despite his enthusiasm, the project faced delays. Eggers directed The Lighthouse in 2019 and The Northman in 2022 before returning to Nosferatu. Casting challenges arose when Anya Taylor-Joy and Harry Styles, who were initially attached to the film, departed due to scheduling conflicts. Oh, but that has led to some of the best casting of 2024. So
that is true.
I'll take it. In September 2022, the project gained momentum with Bill Skarsgård as Count Orlok and Lily Rose Depp as Ellen Hutter. Principal photography concluded in May 2023, and the film premiered on December 25th, 2024. In the United States of America. Eggers' dedication to historical authenticity is evident in his adaptation. He incorporated elements from vampire folklore and historical references, such as having Count Orlok speak Dacian, an extinct language once spoken in ancient Dacia, or Dacia. Anyway. Thanks for coming to my history lesson. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
That was terrific.
This takes a lot of time, so I hope you enjoyed.
I appreciate the effort that you put in every single time.
Thanks. Dylan just shows up and talks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A real talk, though, to be honest.
It is a real talk, so you can't complain too much.
Better than a fake talk.
True. That's the next podcast. We're doing a spin-off, Fake Talk. We just lie the entire time.
Wow, that's good. Garfield movie is my favourite film of the year. Look, do you have anything else you have to say about Nosferatu?
Hold on. I've got my dot points up here. Like you said before, the production design. I actually really appreciated that it was mostly black and white, like for the whole thing. You noticed that? There was very grim colors.
Yeah, it's just like moody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's moody, and it's. I'm glad that they've got like because it was black and white for most of the time because of the moody colors. I'm glad they've done that because I can't imagine Nosferatu chasing around Thomas in a lush green field.
And I think that comes back to Eggers' authenticity of the time. Like I don't think the time period is very colourful.
Really colourful, yeah. There was a plague.
Logistically, or what they were going through. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this vampire pulls up and he brings a plague. You know, apparently all the rats in the film are real. None of them are CGI.
Really?
Apparently all of the rats are real.
There was so many.
I know. Imagine working on set with that stuff. I'd rather...
That room with all of, like, the rats and Count Orlok's sarcophagus.
Let Count Orlok bite my chest. Didn't have to deal with all that.
I don't think I would. Yeah, get out. Yeah, no, this film's definitely not for everyone. It was very, like, long. Like Seb and I were saying now, I don't think I'd be able to sit through another, like, 3 hours. Was it 3?
2:20.
It felt like 3 hours.
Yeah, it does. I think it's one of those films that is very 3-hour coded. It's the same vibes as Oppenheimer. There's a lot of talking, but there's also a lot of visuals in this film.
It is. I think it could have. I will say, I think it could have done with a not too drastically, but a shorter runtime. Like just a.
There's definitely room to cut, but I think it comes back to Eggers' obsession with the original and making sure everything's there and make sure everything's realistic. And what's interesting is I'm just coming in with all the facts today. This is great.
Wow.
Originally, the original Nosferatu film was actually the estate of the writer of Dracula actually took every single person behind the Nosferatu film to court and sued them and won. Because it was literally the exact same thing as Dracula, but they changed the name and they changed a couple of the conversations that were had.
Yeah.
Other than that, all the same. And not only did the judge say, "Yeah, you're right. This is copyright." It's also enough that they tried to get every single copy of the film destroyed. Obviously, some weren't because we now have it for free on Prime and it's on YouTube, I believe, and stuff. But it was like a big deal. And so on this film, the original writer of Dracula is actually credited as a lead writer on the film. Pretty nice, isn't it?
That is pretty nice.
I mean, he's dead, so he'll never know. I think. I'd assume so.
Is he dead? Wait, who was... I'm going to search that
Dracula
up right
is
now.
like a million years old. What do you mean, is he dead?
Well, he could be like 120. There's like an really old woman that's alive in Japan, and she's like 116. So it's like...
Hypothetically, it is possible.
Who wrote Dracula?
I'm guys, just so you know, everyone listening and watching, I'm not in the same boat as him. I'm not trying to look up if Dracula author's still alive.
Okay, so he was born in 1847. So wait, no, he could still be alive. Wait, hold on.
He probably died of the plague. When the hell was the plague a thing?
When did Bram
Stokes? Is that it? Stokes?
Oh, you guys won't get that reference unless you came to watch Carrie in 2024.
Guys, you wouldn't get it.
Die. When did he die? Oh. 1912. He died 1912. Didn't Nosferatu come out in
22? It was the estate of his family.
Oh, do you reckon he would have sued as well, or do you reckon he'd be like, "Oh, this is a lovely thing for my"?
I don't know. It also probably wasn't it's not an incredible piece of work. I think no hate to any Nosferatu fans.
No, but it was very What's
I'm
the
sure
word?
for the time it was stellar.
Well, no, not stellar. I think it was very.
You got this.
I can't remember the word.
Well, I guess
we'll leave it like that. It was very.
It was very because the truth is I've been through. If you know, you know. It's a Wicked reference, but it was cut from the film. You wouldn't get it.
Oh no, yeah, that's the one that you were watching the other day.
It's a deleted scene.
Deleted scene that you said, I'm glad they cut this because it was boring.
I've been through. Shout out to Fanny.
I am going to say this.
Not on a podcast.
I'm going to say this. This has nothing to do with Nosferatu.
He said it.
I did the thing. This has something to do with our last episode.
The top 10. Wow.
Top 10. Wow.
That was a long time ago.
That was a long time. I was mildly surprised when Borderlands was not in your top 10. I was like, this guy's not even going to put it in his number 10 slot. Because this guy was raving about it, and he said he had controversial stuff in his top 10.
I'm not having this conversation on our Nosferatu 2025 episode.
Yeah, you wouldn't dare compare Nosferatu to
Could you imagine?
Borderlands.
You know, there's people alive who enjoyed Borderlands more than Nosferatu.
Like Sib Smith.
Well, it's pretty easy to say that Nosferatu is our number one film of the year so far.
So far.
We have stuff like Paddington in Peru. We have stuff like We Live in Time and I was about to say Borderlands. The Brutalist, September 5 are all coming up soon, which are going to be great, and I'm very excited. And I'm very annoyed that we live in Australia and our releases are 6 months later than in America.
I know. I didn't actually ever get to see Piece by Piece, and I really wanted to see that.
Piece by piece.
I didn't see
Anyway, look, I think that's going to be it. Let me actually check because I don't want to lead you guys astray here. Yeah, so Dylan's checking his schedule.
I am checking. I'm checking the films.
Anyway, look, I think in terms of Robert Eggers Nosferatu, that's going to be it.
I think so. I think what our plan is for this year is to see. We've got a doc. I'm sure the camera.
Courtesy of me.
I'll show the camera.
I did this in last year.
I think what we're going to do is we are going to try and see. This is a very big task. We're going to try and see every single movie that comes out in cinemas this year, or at least all the big ones. Because
my goal is to see 50 movies in cinemas this year.
My goal is to see 50 movies in cinemas this year with Sibs Me. That's my goal.
I've seen 2 so far. We have seen 2. I've seen 3.
Don't forget me. We've seen 2.
I've seen Conclave as well, but I watched that at home.
Well, you'll have to see that in the cinemas.
I am going to go see it in cinemas because I did not like it, but we'll get into that in our Conclave episode in a month's time. Anyway, thank you very much for watching the episode 6 of Real Talk.
Yeah, we're back permanently now for good. We're back
weekly.
Weekly, no breaks, unless Seb gets testicular torture or something.
Unless I die.
Yeah. And then all of his things will go to me.
Then Jack Marshall comes and does it.
Then Jack Marshall comes in and does it. Yeah.
I've actually promised him that he can be a special guest for the FNAF 2 episode.
Oh really?
But you guys will have to wait and see. You'll have to wait till November before that.
What? He's gonna steal our good looks. He's gonna steal the show.
He will. He'll be right in the middle too. We'll have to put a FNAF mask on him.
FNAF mask.
Anyway, you guys can keep dreaming about that collab for another 8 months. Another day, another dollar,
another victory for Dylan and Sibs Me.
Wait, it kind of rhymed. Anyway, thank you very much for watching our Nosferatu episode of Real Talk. We're coming at you again next week with a review of Paddington in Peru. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you later. Goodbye.